Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Check right.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
The 49ers subscribing to the theory that you can never have enough top running backs. Brought in Tevin Coleman from Atlanta to help run Kyle Shanahan's offense. And Coleman is going to be immediately comfortable because he played for Shanahan in Atlanta when he was the offensive coordinator.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Landry now on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Taylor will bring the Browns up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Taylor going back to Landry. This time he's got him complete.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. On 4th down, the Browns hand things over to the veteran Britton Colquitt to punt. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 22, Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But now,
blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And after the sack, he's still down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the...
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Looking ahead to Week 6 of the NFL, some big games next weekend, including the first London game of the year. Panthers and Bucks, they'll do battle in the UK. And back home, it all starts Thursday night with one that a lot of folks have circled. Taylor hit. He lost the football. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction.
It got his man complete. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 81 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking.
Here we go.
Sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They go play action here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it.
And this is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route. Often against the safety, you like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for third down. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. On third down, Taylor looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Landry, the intended target.
Here we go. Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Push him back.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Smith. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Here we go.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
The Niners on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. It's into the hands of Matthews for the 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes down for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action, it's Taylor. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Taylor to throw. He's going to fire one. He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Garoppolo looks to throw. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Garoppolo closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Garoppolo now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Out right to Bourne. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where you see the final score there. 28-12, final score. Next, we head off to check out another game. And it was the visiting L.A. Rams who get the victory in that one. A field goal, the difference. 17-14, the final. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The throw by Taylor there knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go. 180. Check 53. Good track.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. finding Bourne here over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the dump-off and second down.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
On second down now, it's Coleman. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Taylor will bring the Browns up 1st and 10, right at the 30. A toss play to Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that get... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dee Ford, his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Taylor will throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty. Always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
And when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Running lanes ran a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. All told, they get 13 yards on that play.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now this throw caught left side. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
21 yards there on third down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side...
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the 49ers add on their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Here's Taylor. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Taylor. They'll go screen here to Hunt.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running, because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
All right. right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
Mike 56. Shut up. I'm here all day. What? Go. Mike 56, right there. Ready, go.
And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. No problem there on the extra point, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they maybe given up momentum. Well, not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. He was looking for Landry that time.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now Garoppolo lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver. Able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
The last drive, he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off on a safety, Jarquiski Tart. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That second down play nets a -4. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they take a knee.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Niners, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank